Got a video for those of you who are weird and brave enough to daily drive a Fiero. If your cooling fan is making this kind of a sound when you turn it on, then you might be due for a new cooling fan. In this video, I'm going to explain how I went through that process. I originally was going to do a little bit different of a method than Fiero Kyle did in his video, but it ended up being pretty much the same thing. That's kind of the only right way to do it with a generic AutoZone or equivalent, like a universal fan, which is what you're going to want to use. So get yourself one of those, grab a beer, and get wrenching. Hope this video helps provide any more detail or a different angle that you needed. And shout out to Fiero Kyle for making an already excellent video. Hopefully this will just supplement that. On with the video. So this is the stock fan, I'm pretty sure. And it sounds awful. Bearing must be spun. Car's only got 45,000 miles on it, but it sat for a long time in some guy's backyard, so not surprised. Anyway, we have a new one from AutoZone, just whatever 16-inch fan they carry. So we're gonna see if that will fit. All right, got my mechanic's best friend loaded up with a 10mm on an extension. Let's get to work. There's just 4 volts right here and there, and then in the same orientation, just way down there on the bottom. It's kind of hard to see. Anyway, I'm gonna get those out of there, and then we will cut that shroud up and install this guy. So the 2 bottom ones are pretty hard to get to. So I took away the extension and I'm gonna actually try and reach in from the bottom. Kind of like the other guy on YouTube that did this exact same thing that I'm copying. So yes. All right. It worked. So prerequisite to doing this, might want to have a clean garage floor, but it's totally doable. I just reached up in there and got it with just my hands. So 2 bolts out, and now we're gonna get these top 2 and I'll pull the shroud out. And out, here we are. Look at that, so easy. To hurt my finger, but yeah, cool, there you go. Comes right out. There's the fan. All right, so the fan comes with a bunch of other crap so that you can jankily install it in whatever build you got going on. I'm gonna go for clean here. I'd rather not have it just be hanging in there with some zip ties or whatever the heck these are. So that is irrelevant. So I've already disassembled this motor, or this fan assembly. Basically, I'm just gonna be copying the same method that Fiero Kyle did. I actually looked into potentially removing the motor from the new fan and then the fan blade as well, and just swapping those into the stock enclosure, but the shape is all proprietary and it didn't quite line up, so that's not worth pursuing if you were looking into doing that. I'm just gonna copy the same method that Fiero Kyle did. So all there is are 3 10mm bolts, and your motor will come off. But first you will need to remove, and this is reverse threaded, so it's righty loosey, lefty tighty, just this nut from the fan blade, and then off comes your motor and your fan blade, right? And that is all out of the way, and you're left with this shroud. We're gonna have to modify this to fit the new fan, so I'll set that aside. Something interesting was how the fan blades are just kind of unevenly spaced. I don't know why they would do that. Maybe it's a specific noise or vibration they wanted out of it or something. But that's weird. Anyway, safety is #1 priority in Ben's garage, so safety glasses on, and definitely if you're using a battery powered tool, remove the battery, please, before you change any heads or bits or plates or anything if you value having fingers. You're gonna want hearing protection if you're using an angle grinder. Wow. Much better. Whew, stinks. Ugh, God. Ah, all right. Let's go crack a door. That smells. Yeah, so basically what using an angle grinder did was melt this thing out of there, which worked, but stinks. So, but here, we're left with this empty shroud, which is perfect. I think I'm gonna take this sanding wheel real quick and clean up these bird edges here. And then we will have a nice little platform to start with. Definitely remove your battery first, okay? Or unplug your tool. And I'm gonna swap to, pull that crap off, that crap on. Go ahead and battery up. All right, battery out. And that's that. Time to clean up. Need to figure out how to get this into here. So the objective, again, copying Fiero Kyle, something a little bit like that. Honestly, that goes in there pretty nicely. I'm not mad about that fitting in. It's kind of got these ribs on the outside of the, it's almost like that was made for that. Do you see this? That's amazing. I'll take it. I just need to figure out how to get this to stay put. Oh, damn it. I have legitimately no idea where that went. And I do not want to spend 3 hours finding it, so. So I found these kind of self-tapping screws here. Just gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, straight in from the side. Easy peasy. And I'm hoping this won't interfere with the spinny bits. But let's see. Ah, almost forgot. Safety glasses. Back to it. Cool. All right, that's in there pretty nice. Works for me. Good enough. So just the reverse as before. We're gonna go ahead and install this radiator fan. Careful not to scratch your radiator. Here she goes. Just like that. Perfect. My best friend here. Okay, there's one. Cool. Feels pretty solid and it looks good too. Now I'm gonna go in from underneath. Thank you, Christ. Great. All right. Yeah. Well, those bottom ones kind of suck, but yeah. So now all 4 bolts are in, and we just need to wire it up. All right. So we got to cut that loose. So now that is free, but that connector does not look anything like the original OEM connector. So we got a problem. Unfortunately, I can't really tell polarity between the two of these. They're both black. So what I'm gonna have to do, I guess this one has like a pink wire, but I don't know what it is. So I'm gonna grab my trusty digital voltmeter and I'm gonna set that to continuity. And bearing in mind that the car is off right now, so the fan should not be running. Obviously, if you have your thing set to continuity, you do not want to run voltage through that. That'll fry it. What I'm going to do, right, you hear that? When you touch the wires together and close the circuit, it beeps. That's continuity. Now what I'm looking for is I want to find which of these wires is the ground wire. The other one, by logic, is the 12-volt wire. Then I know which one is which. So the ground wire should at all times be grounded. So we're going to go ahead and test which one goes to ground. So I've got it stuck in one of the pins. I'm going to touch this anywhere on the car's chassis. That'll be ground. And there you go. First try. So that means that the one without the purple mark, that is ground. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and do is just shore up this tubing a little bit. And I'm going to cut these wires right here, right at the connector. I don't need that connector, so I'm going to cut right close to it. And there we go. So there's our two wires. Obviously this one's ground, this one's going to be 12-volt power. This fan is listed as reversible, so you want to make sure you get your polarity right, otherwise it might spin the wrong direction, which on a Fiero could be pretty bad. So this looks like 12 wire gauge. Let's guess here. Boom. All right, good strip on that. Twist it up. And then same deal on here. All right. Now the same over here. I'm going to cut this a little bit further away from the connector in case I need to reuse that for something else. All right. Slide that conduit away. Now that looks like 10 wire gauge, so I'm going to go a little bit upstream here. There we go. Give that a good twist. And likewise on the other wire. Now remember, from our testing, this wire with the purple mark, that's 12 volts. So purple mark, 12 volts is going to go to the blue wire, and then ground is going to the ground. We're going to use these easy crimps to splice our wires together. So all you need are channel locks like that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to crimp this onto, this is the positive wire with the purple mark, right there. And I'm just going to get that a bit on there, like so. And I'm going to squeeze that, just this side right there. Get the wire pushed in. I'm going to squeeze it down, nice and tight. And there, now it's crimped down, nice and snug on the wire. We're going to go down to this positive wire here, and same thing. We're just going to stick it in. One of those, and one of those. Just kind of rip it down real hard. There we go, cool. Now that's on there nice and tight. Not going anywhere, making a good connection. I can only assume. Same thing here for the ground wire. We're gonna go ahead, twist that up. Maybe zoom in a little. And we're gonna just slide that on over the end here, twisting as we go. That'll have to work. All right. And then grip down. Now this is the ground side. Give it a good squeeze. Like that. Not going anywhere. And then we'll slip it over the other side. Twist that up. Slide it in. Just like so. And then we'll just squeeze it down like that. Now that shouldn't be going anywhere. All right, and the last thing we need to do looking down at the fan here, we're just gonna kind of shore up this wire, get it up out of the way, a little bit like so. And then what I'll do is just go ahead and cable tie some of this together in a coil so it's out of the way. That'll be good enough. All right, and here's a little sound demo of the fan as properly set up. On the ignition. As you can see, blows a properly high amount of air. You can feel it from here. And it's not too loud. It sounds like any modern car. I'm gonna go ahead and close the front here. Yeah, sounds like a car, not too loud. So anyway, that should conclude the video. If you need to change out your Fiero radiator fan, that's how it's done. Thanks for watching.